G'day, I'm Go Lab. Welcome to this this video, which I hope to make about tuning, basically from a beginner perspective, with some pretty poorly tuned quads, I've got to say. So out here, another beautiful day in Canberra. It's about 33 degrees and around about 70% humidity. So that's pretty good to go. The other day it was verging on the 40s. So this is actually the second attempt. And the first attempt ended up to go back and change a dodgy ESC. The weather wasn't great. Well, you know, it was a bit oppressive. I didn't have too much shade. My goggle batteries were running out, and my transmitter batteries were running out. So pretty poorly organised, but probably a little bit better for this one anyway. Anyway, so as you can see, just taking some quads out. Going to be tuning this little bad boy today. This Chameleon TI. Obviously from Armtown. Got a previous video explaining not so much the specs but the components, about what's gone into that quad. Alrighty, so we're all set up now. Just going to take the Chameleon for a bit of a test fly. So just to run you through the PIDs quickly. So in terms of roll for P value, I've got 20 and 10 for an I value. Pitch is 10 and 10, and yaw is 10 and 0. So we'll just see how that goes. It's looking pretty unflyable at the moment. However, I do want to give it a go, and kind of work this tune from the ground up. So let's see how we go. Plug these bastards in. There we go, and we'll see. So straight away, it's got a lot of yaw over to the left. Yeah, it's pretty unflyable. It's got a lot of it's almost like auto level is on in terms of pitch, but it's not. At least I bloody hope it's not, unless I've done something extremely wrong in beta flight. But yeah, it's struggling. There is a decent amount of wind, but not anything that I would normally take into consideration. So I don't think it's being blown around by wind. I just think it's being blown around by tune, if you like. Bring it back down. Oh yeah, crashed. Alright, didn't have to go and get that. Okay, we'll see how it goes. We're going to bump up. What should we bump up? We'll bump up yaw first of all, because of that yawing problem over to the left. So we'll put that on 20. We'll basically bump everything up by about 10, I reckon. Put pitch. Bring that up to 30. No. Roll is fine, so we'll leave that at 20. And put the pitch up to 20. So now roll, pitch and yaw each have values of 20 and I values of 10. Yeah, I values of 10. Save that. See how we go. Alright, got some mad vibrations there, still yawing. I'll tell you what, that ESC replacement has worked well. It's not so previously when I was punching the power, the quad would dip in the direction of that dodgy ESC. This tune is actually a lot more flyable. So, oh shit. Can't land though. Okay, so what do we got there? Yaw. Probably put yaw up again. Probably 25. Pitch. No, we'll put everything up. put everything up to 25. Save that. See how we go. Was a lot more flyable last time, and this is, you know, say the last time essentially doubled in goodness the flying quality. This is just doubled it again, so still not great. Like, don't get me wrong, like if I hadn't been flying for a little while, I'm not saying I'm a great pilot by any means, because I can't do a lot of shit, but it is taking a lot of, I suppose, experience to keep us in the air, but it is relatively flyable. Well, it is flyable. Okay. So I think this is a pretty good starting point for, I suppose, the beginning of our tune. Even pulling off a not 13.9 volts. Bring back in. Some very minor acrobatics or aerobatics. There, just a little kind of half loop, I suppose. Okay, we'll bring it back in, change the battery, and then we'll start working on one axis. Okay. So now that we're in a pretty good position to, I suppose, begin the tune as opposed to like not fall out of the sky, I'm gonna essentially start with one axis at a time. So at the moment we're gonna work on the rolls and just see how that goes. And basically what we're looking for is, when we do a roll, any kind of recorrection that has to happen following the completion of a roll. Okay, off we go. And roll actually looks not too bad. Could be that I have absolutely no idea what the fuck I'm doing, but there's no bounce back. It's a little bit of I suppose there is a little bit of bounce at the bottom of the rolls. I might try and chuck it up a little bit. See what happens. Still getting a lot of drift. So what's going on at the moment? Basically, a lot of pitch up and roll to the right is what's happening. Maybe a bit of yaw left. So I might bring it back in, put the p-value for roll up a couple of notches. Just have a bit of a play around with the trim settings. Okay, so it was pitching up. It's pitching up, so we want to push or pitch down. So we'll probably go about a third of the way up the scale, I suppose, or forward of the scale. Then it was rolling right, so roll left again about a third. And it was yawing left, so we'll just chuck that on a little bit as well. So you're like, oh, the p-values. So for roll, was 25, bump that up to 30. Actually, we'll put it up to 35, just see what happens. Yeah, traffic's definitely starting to increase now. People finishing work and whatnot. Shit. Okay, so it wants to pitch down So trim settings way too much down, and way too much roll left. Still? Is it yawing? Fuck, this pitch release is really bad. Okay. Okay, not too bad. That's not too bad. Fuck, it wants to fall out of the sky. Oh no, it doesn't want to fall out of the sky. So when you take the throttle off, it just dips right down. Anyway, let's concentrate on rolls. Bad amount of bounce. Oh shit, hit the ground. Okay. This thing's nowhere near flying level. It's still got a bit of prop wash. Just keeps wanting to pitch down. Okay, come back down. And upside down. God damn it. Alright. Let's give this another crack. Okay, it's got a roll. Yeah, the roll bounce is coming back. And there's a few. It's a decent amount of prop wash when falling back into disturbed air. Yep. That was actually not too bad. I reckon another 5 points for roll there.
13.9 roll.
And out of battery again. So we're getting it.
13.9
Shit.
roll.
Another 5 points for roll. And then so another 5 points for roll, and then we'll start having a decent look at pitch. And go from there. Okay, now that the roll's coming along, we're gonna give the pitch a bit of a go, just by doing a few pitch rolls, and we'll see how we go. Now that's person on the oval. That's great. Pitch is pretty good. Pitch is actually pretty good. It's just general lack of stability, I think, which I think is more an eye value. Okay, we'll bring it back in. What we're going to do is punch up, roll, pitch. Shit. Fucking stones all over, kicking up all over the place. Okay, so we are going to pump up pitch big time. We're going to put that up to about 50. Oh fuck, sounds a bit much. Go 45. and we'll try and generate a try and generate an error. The weights could probably go up a little bit, you know? Shit! Fail safe. Oh, right way up. Okay, now we are back up.
Telemetry recovered.
Fuck, it has gone to custard. Big fucking bend prop, I think. See how that goes. See what's happening. There's your problem. I don't know what happened there. Just fell out of the sky. Just fell safe right in the middle of this open field, open sports field. Behind me, in front of me rather. I had a fail safe a while ago. I'm not sure if it was this. No, it definitely wasn't this receiver. Everything else looks pretty intact. Rotors. Yeah, they're still okay. Not even bent, just must have landed on that one prop. Okay, so what we're going to do, kids both pitch and roll, we're pretty happy with both of them. I'm going to put them both up to about 50. I'll just try and generate the error that comes with having your p-value too high, which is generally a lot of noise. Vibration. See how we go. Fucking to the moon and still not a problem. Roll is good. I don't think this is that far off a pretty good tune. Still a lot of prop wash. Well, actually minimal. High values still suck, obviously, because they don't have anything on them, except for maybe 10 points on pitch and roll. A lot of noise coming in for landing. Okay, and that's another battery that needs replacing. So I've kind of left you guys hanging for a little bit. What I've actually done is put both the roll and the pitch up to 60, left the I values at 10 and have still yet to turn on the D values. That's generated a little bit of noise after both a lateral roll and a forward roll, so on recovery, like a little bit of bounce. From there, I'm pretty happy with that P value. I think that we could probably tune out, this is probably as high as I'm going to go, but I'm probably, I will attempt to tune it out using the D value instead. Also, what I'm going to do is bump up the yaw from 25 to, I don't know, whatever, like 35, because the yaw is getting pretty annoying. This constant drift round to the left, and I don't particularly want to correct it with the trim values, just in case we throw off the tune a little bit. So hoping to tune that out, or hoping that it will recover once we start to increase the P value, but also increase the I value for yaw. Anyway, we'll see how that works out. Okay, so current state of play is that roll and pitch are pretty much the same, so 60-10-10 in terms of PID. Roll is still a little bit kind of washy, I suppose, at the completion of a barrel roll, so I'm going to take that down to around about 55 and see how we go from there. Pitch is pretty spot on. However, I am going to kind of I'm not sure if this is going to muck up the tune or anything, but I am going to raise the rate of the pitch because I think it's just too slow for me. Yaw's not too bad, so when I do a yaw spin, there is a little bit of wash afterwards. I'm probably going to leave it where it is at the moment. At the moment it's 35-10. Probably just going to leave it where it is. As I said, drop the roll and fix up the rate of the pitch. And by then, like, we're looking at a pretty good spot. I kind of pretty cognizant of the fact that these are pretty arbitrary values, or pretty round numbers, I suppose. I think it will, like, as my experience kind of goes on, like that, the fine tuning will come out, and even maybe later on this afternoon, it'll have a bit of a play, I suppose, certainly in terms of that roll P value. Anyway, I'll make those changes and we'll see how we go. So getting towards the back end of the tune now, and the quad's starting to develop that locked-in feel. Made a few changes since the last clip, and now it's starting to really become more of a kind of fine-tuned process rather than like a big macro movement kind of thing. So I'll probably start winding up here fairly soon, just for your interest anyway, since the last clip. So in terms of PID, once again, roll 55-10-10, pitch 60-10-15. Found that it needed a little bit more D value. It was really rocking after those rolls. However, the roll itself was pretty light on, and so was able to reduce the P value and keep that lower D value as a result. I think I suppose I was guided more by feel. It just seemed to be what was right in my mind at the time. In terms of yaw, that's still pretty high. So well, it's gone pretty high. It's now 35 for P and 15 for the I value. Obviously there's no D value, but I did feel the need for that I value to really come quite up, because it still was having that yaw issue. I might look at the trim value. I did calibrate the flight controller before we came out, but we'll just see how it goes. I think that's going to be more of a fine-tune thing, as I was alluding to before. What I actually have done is increase the rate of both the pitch and the roll. So increase the RC rate for both pitch and roll to 1.55. Super rate for roll is now 0.7, up from like 0.5 I think it was, and the pitch super rate is at 0.8, again from like 0.5 or thereabouts. So a big increase in rates. What I did see was when I started to increase the rates and then finish up whatever type of roll it happened to be, I suppose the there was still a lot of shuddering at the back end, and so I correspondingly raised the P value and then raised the D value again. And I think that's the general theme of tuning, from what I understand. It's just this kind of chasing your tail until you're pretty happy with the whole thing. Anyway, I'm going to take it for a fly now. We'll see how it goes. I'm reasonably happy with it. Might come back. I might do some minor changes still today, but essentially, like, that's the tune complete as far as I'm concerned. So anyway, I'll give it a test fly and we'll see how we go. Okay, there we go. It's a probably a pretty successful tune, I reckon. So that's pretty cool. Like, that's the first time I've done it. Obviously watched a lot of videos on Bardwell, Drib, I think, Stinger Swarm. Oh, who else? The old JC from back in the day, God rest his soul. And a couple of other people, and generally got the idea about how to run it, especially from beginning to end, I suppose, as opposed to starting with a stock tune, for instance, and then going from there. So pretty happy with the results. Pretty happy with the way it turned out. It was pretty fun to do as well, especially for the first time. And I suppose it grows dreary if you're one of these people that has like 10,000 quads, but I've only got a couple, so it was fun by me. Still got that initial excitement of doing it for the first time. But from the last flight that I flew, from the first flight to the last flight, like, the difference is night and day. When I first took off today, and even the other day, it was absolutely, well, today was barely flyable, and the other day was not flyable at all. Just couldn't even get it off the ground. I had to put like essentially a hard right roll and a hard pitch forward and maybe a little bit of yaw in, just to keep it kind of level. But today was able to accomplish that relatively easily. So, well, relatively stably. Is that the word? I think it is. I suppose with minimal vibrations and minimal variances in straight and level flight. However, at the end, I was doing barrel rolls, flips, power rolls, all over the place. Very minimal prop wash. I did notice some prop wash on the ends, I suppose, or like I think I was rolling left and then turned it into a hard, essentially hard stop with a right hand exit, I suppose, so a hard right hand turn, and that's the only time that I saw prop wash in, at least in my my FPV feed. So anyway, gonna leave it there. Another successful day. Well, I've been on holidays, beautiful weather, it's good to go. Not a cloud in, well, there is clouds in the sky actually, it's just a figure of speech I suppose. Anyway, I'll leave you to it. Take care.